Hello guys, welcome to NumPy channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm so happy to have you on board. Now this is lesson 1 on NumPy random, and we are going to have a very profound series on NumPy random. But then before we start, if it's your first time to get into this channel, please consider subscribing and also like the video. And to the returning subscribers, thank you very much for your continued support. Now, what is a random number? So guys, basically in NumPy, random number does not mean a different number every time. And random means something that cannot be predicted logically. And so guys, we have the pseudo random and also the true random. Now guys, basically computer work on programs, and programs are definitive set of instruction. So it means there must be some algorithm to generate a random number as well. Now if there's a program to generate a random number, it can be predicted. Thus it is not a truly a random number. So guys, basically we do not need truly random numbers unless it is related to security, like encryption, or the basis of application in the randomness, like the digital roulette wheels. Now guys, in this tutorial we will be using pseudo random numbers. Now I want us to begin by generating random numbers. And remember, NumPy offers the random module to work with random numbers. And so guys, basically in this first cell, I want us to generate a random integer, perhaps from 0 to 100. So the first thing that we are going to do is to import the random. We are going to import from NumPy. So from NumPy we are going to import random. We are going to import random. And basically I want us to generate a random number in the range of 0 to 100. So I'm gonna create here an object with variable x, and then I'm gonna say random. Now if you want to get those integers, we are going to say run it, and then we are going to specify the range, which is 100. Actually the maximum number should be 100. Then to the print function, we are going to key in what? This is a variable x, our object. Then I click on the run button, and then guys, you can see that we have done what we have just generated random numbers in the range of 0 to 100, and it is 93. Now when we run again, you can see it will give us another random number. Again, when we click again, you can see it give us another random numbers, but in the range of 0 to 100. And so guys, we've been talking about the integers. So now let's try to talk about the random float. So let's discuss how to generate a random float. So guys, basically a random module rand method returns a random float between perhaps 0 to 1, basically between 0 and 1. And so guys, let me show you how to generate a random float from 0 to 1. So first of all, we are going to use this first line of code here, and then here I'm gonna say what? Let me say x. Let me create a variable here, then assign it to random dot rand method, and then here let me say print x. Now let me click on the run button. Guys, you can see that it has just generated random numbers in the range of 0 to 1. When you click again, you can see that it generates also another random number. So guys, basically this is how you can generate a random float. Now let's now discuss how to generate random arrays. So in NumPy we work with arrays, and you can use the two methods from perhaps the above examples, these examples that I've just shown you here, to make random arrays. Now guys, for integers, the randint method takes a size parameters where you can specify the shape of an array. Now let me show you guys an example how to generate a one-dimensional arrays containing 5 random integers from perhaps 0 to 100. So let me just copy these lines of codes here, let me just copy this lines of code. Then in this a new cell, guys, here I'm gonna add here another parameter, and then I'm gonna say size, then assign it perhaps 5, perhaps 5, or whichever numbers you have. And so guys, in this example it will generate a random integers, but then in the range of 0 to 100. And so let me click on the, let me run the codes. And then guys, you can see that it has just returned a random arrays here, one-dimensional arrays in the range of 0 to 100. Now let's try to generate a two-dimensional array with 3 rows, each row containing 5 random integers, perhaps from 0 to 100. Now again, let me do it. Let me just copy these lines of code, or guys, let me just add here another parameter, another argument here. And let me say, first of all, here let me give it, I say that 3 rows, and then what, containing 5 integers, so 5 random integers. So here I'm gonna say perhaps 5. Then when I run this code, then I guess you can see that it has done what it has, created two-dimensional arrays with what, with the 5, with the with the 3 rows. Now let's talk about the floats. Now guys, the rand method also allows you to specify the shape of the array. Now for example, let's generate a one-dimensional actual one-dimensional array containing 5 random floats. Now let me copy these lines of code here. Let me copy these lines of code. Then in this new cell, let me just paste it here. And then here guys, I'm gonna I'm gonna specify actually the 5 random floats. So here I'm gonna say 5, so that it may done what, it may generate 5 random floats. Then let me click on the run, and then I guess you can see that it has done what, it has generated 5 random floats. Now to generate a two-dimensional array with 3 rows, each row containing 5 random numbers. So guys, what it will do here, perhaps let me say, perhaps 3 for 3 rows, I'm gonna say 3, and then the random, I'm gonna give it 5. Random what, random. These are random floats. So let me click on the run, and then I guess you can see that it has generated two-dimensional array with 3 rows with 5 floats. And so guys, let's now discuss how to generate random numbers from an array. So the choice method allows you to generate a random number value based on the array of values. Now the choice methods take an array as a parameter and randomly returns one of the values. So for example, I want us to return one of the values in an array here. So here I'm gonna change it to choice. Remember I told you that the choice methods allows you to generate a random number, a random value based on an array of values. So here I'm gonna give it a choice method, a choice, and then here I'm gonna create an array, one-dimensional array, and then perhaps I'm gonna give it some values here. Let me say 7, and then also perhaps 9. Now when I will click on 9, actually when I run the codes, you can see that it can gives you it returns a values, but then within the ranges in the array, actually the values in the array. So guys, basically that's how you can return one of the values in an array with these are random. Now guys, remember the choice method also allows you to return an array of values. And so guys, let's now try an example how to generate a two-dimensional array that consists of the values in the array parameters, perhaps 3, 5, and 7 and 9. So guys, here I'm gonna add here another parameter, and then I'm gonna specify the size. So let me say size, and then I'm gonna give it, it should be in the rounded brackets, and then let me say 3, and then also let me say also 5. And then guys, here I forgot to add here an equal sign, so you must assign, you must define this size here. And then guys, what you do now, let's run the code. And then guys, you can see that it has returned this this array here. So guys, this is how we can generate a two-dimensional array, that consists the values in the array parameters that you have. And so guys, basically this is what I wanted to show you in this introduction part of random numbers. So please consider subscribing to the channel, and to the returning subscribers, like the video. Until next time, thank you very much. This is Nehemiah.